So let's make a website. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you a couple different free website builders and how I went about using them to create a couple websites here with varying degrees of time. One of them I think took me an hour, the other one took me like 3 hours. So depending on which site it is, you're going to need more or less skill. And to start out with, I want to show you that this is what's possible with WordPress. And this is my photography website, The Sacred Moment. And this is built on the WordPress platform using a template that I actually purchased and then customized. So I purchased the template because it had the basic layout that I wanted, and it cost me around $50. But then, because I know HTML, because I know CSS, I was able to customize it to get it exactly the way I want it. So I customized some things up here and on the menu, and then how I wanted things viewed here also when you went into one of the slideshows itself. And you can see here's an example, and this is a responsive design. And there's also a blog here that goes with it. So I blog whenever I go on a new shoot, on a new dive, and put some information about that. And then there's also a contact form here as well. Now, some of the free website builders that I'm going to show you are not that sophisticated, but if you Google free website builder, this is what you get. And aside from the top paid ones, Wix is one of the ones that I actually chose for this demonstration. And I think it was pretty easy to use. I got it up fairly fast, but you can see there's all kinds of them. And because WordPress is so popular, I do want to show you WordPress. So to start out with, if we go to WordPress.com, this is what we get. And if you click on create a website here, it's going to take you through a process of entering a domain or keyword. So for example, just for the demonstration purposes of this class, I typed in MAT131, and it actually let me have that domain. So that was fine, but you can try putting in your name, a combination of different things, and it'll give you this for free. So once you've done that, it's going to take you through some other steps, and then it's going to take you in the actual builder, which is the administration part of WebCT. And so, okay, this is part of what they have as far as WebCT goes. But if I go to my site here, what's going to be important for us right now is to go to our WordPress admin here. And this gets us to the dashboard, which, if you're familiar with this, is where you add posts and pages to WordPress. So WordPress has kind of a learning curve, but they also have a lot of documentation that can help you through it. So basically what you have to do if you want it to look like a website and not a blog is you have to create pages. So I created some pages here. One of them is the front page. I didn't put a title on it because I didn't want a heading to be on it because that's the home page, but we can click on it here and see what it is. And you can see here the content is very similar to how my home page looks. And I guess I haven't showed you that, but here's what it looks like, the WordPress page. Okay, so it looks like a website. It doesn't really look like a blog. But in order to do that, I had to add a lot of HTML here. I couldn't just pop this stuff in here. So if we look at the actual text part of it here, we can see there's some code here. So this isn't really for beginners to get it to look the way I got it to look. However, one thing that I did, one page that I did do on here, I did not have to format like this, and that is the galleries page, which was a lot easier than on the other sites. So if we look at the gallery page here, it created this kind of really cool gallery for me here by just me selecting that option in the WordPress page itself. And then about the page, it's about the diving here, I also had to format. So this is formatted as well. So about the diving, we can see again, this is formatted with HTML and CSS. And we haven't got there yet. So once you've learned this, which I did, then you'll be able to customize this in WordPress. Now if we go to the gallery, I'll show you it's very simple here because all I did was add this gallery using the functionality in WordPress. But again, it's something that you have to look at the documentation, and it's not super easy to do. Okay, so WordPress is at a more difficult level. This WordPress site took me the longest time to do, and that's because I had to do the HTML coding. So it wasn't the easiest of the three that I chose here to do at all. But the reason why I wanted to show you this was because WordPress is probably the most robust and most customizable of these instant web builders. It just takes time and knowledge. So the next one we're going to look at is this Webs here. And if you go to webs.com, you can create a free website. It's going to ask you for what type of site you want and a couple other things. But once you get there, then the site that I was able to make actually was very easy to make and very quick to make. And it was basically drag and drop. So I dragged and dropped my images that I created in Photoshop. So I did create these. I didn't say that about the WordPress thing, but I created these images in Photoshop. So you have to be able to create images in Photoshop in order to make a web page, even the free ones, if you want it to be customized for the brand or the look that you're looking for. Otherwise, you can use free stock images, but you're still going to have to create content as well, and you're going to have a plan as to how you want the interface to look and how you want the content to be laid out. So this is very similar to the look and feel of the WordPress site that I created, and this took me probably about an hour to create. Like I said, very, very similar. Has actually a couple little touches that were super easy for me to put in. Again, drag and drop. However, in order to get it to look exactly the way I wanted it to, I had to kind of figure out a couple of things that weren't evident, that weren't there in the documentation, but by playing around, I figured out how to structure things. And they don't give you a footer here for free, so I had to make columns here for my footer because this is where their advertising is. And you can look at the About the Diving page, and it's very similar to the WordPress one, except I was able to get in this subscription thing here, that this little module that I just, again, dragged and dropped in here. And if I want people to sign in or register once they subscribe, it's here as well. Again, drag and drop. The gallery, not as really cool looking as the one that's in WordPress, but still a nice gallery. Took a little longer to load there, but if we click on that, we can see similar to, again, the WordPress one. It's just your vanilla slideshow kind of gallery here, but easy to put in place, easy to add the images. There it goes. Now it's loaded, and it looks decent. Okay, the contact page. Again, super easy to have the fields in here and drag and drop a map in here, and it was also easy to drag and drop the social media icons there as well. So I would rate this website here much easier to do than the WordPress one, and maybe a little more customizable than the next one we're going to see from Wix right here now. Okay, so this is one that I made with Wix, and let me go and show you the page that looks like before you sign up for them. So you can start here, and it shows you a bunch of different templates that you can use, and the whole thing is picking the right template. So I was not able to get a template that really looked like these other two that I did here, that was allowed me to put in my logo image, my heading image. So I went with a different kind of look and feel here just to see what would happen here. And so I don't know, you might like this better or not, but I thought, like I said, it was different, and this was, you know, kind of a couple super different directions that I could show a client. This was kind of here in the layout, so was this. So all I had to do is change the actual content of the text itself. I put images in here in the slideshow, so we got the slideshow that goes on here. It had this checkout, check-in function for accommodation, so I thought that I would leave that there. That's kind of cool. But my columns look a little different, and this was super hard to customize, and I couldn't even change the colors of this template here. So hard to actually change anything in the footer as well. About the diving, I put in the text here, was able to format the text a little bit and add an image in here. Again, it wasn't easily customizable. Same with the gallery. I put in images here. There wasn't much more I can do with it. It looks very similar to the one in the previous site that we saw. And then this accommodations page was already set up. So, you know, if it was a hotel or something, this stuff is already there, and it works. It's a working kind of thing here. And then the contact form as well, set up. All I had to do is type in the address. This was all formatted, but it wasn't easy to customize. I couldn't customize this. I could customize the text, but not really the layout. So it's all kind of up to how customizable you want, what's going to work for you. But as you can see, I got these 3 whole complete sites up in less than a day. I would say this one took me probably a good hour. This one here, maybe 2 hours. The WordPress one, a good maybe 4 hours, because I had to do the HTML and CSS in line with it. So it's up to you. If you don't like any of these, again, do a search and you can see what comes up. And like I said, there's a whole bunch of them out there that you can choose. Don't pay anything for any of them. As you can see on WordPress, there's WordPress down here, but no ads really. With the Wix one, we got an ad up here. Okay, something else down here as well, very small. And then with the Webs one, this whole footer down here is their advertisement. Okay, so you're not completely ad-free for these free ones. Okay, so the requirements for this assignment are as follows. Number 1, I want you to create a website with at least 3 pages using one of these free website builders, and then you can use whatever kind of content that you want to use. You can use images off the internet. You can use your own images. It doesn't matter. You can make up content. You can use lorem ipsum content. You can use content that's in the free website builder. But I want you to make at least 3 pages, and I want you to show me that you customize something so that it doesn't look exactly like the template. And then you're going to go ahead and submit a URL to, or a web address to your finished site. So that's about it. Once you create the site itself, what you're going to do is you're going to copy this URL here, this link address, and then you're going to go into Google Classroom. And we get to Google Classroom by going to the website here, and we're going to make sure that we're in the web design module. And then we're going to click on Submit Assignment To, and it's going to take us into the assignment function of Google Classroom here, where the instructions are. So you're supposed to have completed this tutorial as many times as you need it. You're going to attach a URL, and in your view, that doesn't show up in my view, you have a choice of creating a URL or a link. I think it says a link or a note. So either one is fine. Attach that after you copy and paste it on the link or the note, and then just click Turn In, and that's it. You're done. So please let me know immediately if you have any questions or you don't understand any part of this, and we'll try to figure out another way to get you going, to get this done and get your first website up and running. I hope you enjoyed this. Have fun with it.